everybody, and welcome to my review for the best Boston Marathon shoes for 2017. This is the shoe I selected last year. It's the Adidas Adios 3, or just Adios 3. Great shoe for running. I'll talk about it later, but I'm thinking that I may have better alternatives. We'll see. One of the alternatives I'm considering is this Hoka Clayton. This model here is the Kona 2016 model. I really don't like the other patterns, but this is kind of cool with the Hawaiian pattern. It reminds me of Hurt 100 too. And in a sneaker that just is nickname is this Nike Zoom Elite 9. So these are the three shoes I'm considering. I will pick one because I don't want to buy another one. The Adios 3 is the queen, I think, of marathon shoes. Elite runners use them. Why? Precision. Sure-footed control of every step. And when I say sure-footed, means that when you put it down, you know exactly when it's going to land. You know exactly what's going to happen after that. No excess foam here to help. Although there is boost material that really helps you protect your forefoot and also your heel. But are they too flimsy for the rest of us? The Adidas promises that this boost material returns energy. In 2015, I considered and evaluated actually the Adidas Boost 2. They're a much heavier shoe, but they have more boost material. They come with too much weight for racing. Is this cushioning, on the other hand, in the Adidas 3 enough for Boston? Is running downhill in them going to crush your quads right off the bat? Good news is I ran Boston with them last year. And I was fine up until the end of Heartbreak Hill. I can tell you that saving my legs could have helped me be faster in those last 5 miles. When I ran in this, I felt comfortable. But I wish I had more protection for the terrain, especially the forefoot. They are very quick and light, definitely more flexible than the Claytons that I will evaluate next. So another thing to really consider is this Adidas torsion system. So if you try and apply a lateral pressure, you'll see that the shoe tends to come back, and this is really helpful, especially when you get tired and your foot position is not perfect. And I really want to stress how good this Continental rubber is. As you can see, there is Continental rubber now. After 250 miles I've been running in them, you can see that some of it went away, but this rubber is really important when you run, especially if you run fast, to get the maximum grip so that the shoe doesn't slide. So great shoe, definitely, and it weighs 213 grams. That's it, guys. This is a size 11. All my weight measurements are without the insoles because I use the custom insoles. Actually, not really custom, but just, high insoles. You can see my other review of insoles. I have a high arches, and anybody that has medium or high arches should put custom insoles. So next is the Clayton, the Hoka Clayton. And I really like this Kona 2016 model. The other patterns are really too colorful. Why should you consider this shoe for Boston? Downhill and distance. They demand cushioning, and Hoka delivers. The Clayton specifically is Hoka's best marathon shoe. I reviewed the original Cliftons for Boston 2015, and I used the Clifton 2 and 3 for over 400 miles each. The reason why the Claytons instead are the best is that the cushioning is harder, and hence it returns more energy. You can see it seems like it comes up here. Actually, it ends up pretty much here, the cushioning, but in any case, there's much more cushioning, as you can see, than the Adidas. So what's the minus of this shoe? Flexibility. Is that something you're willing to sacrifice? I would if I have to. If I lose flexibility, and you can see that this shoe is less flexible, let's compare it with this. What I lose with flexibility is the ability to run well when I'm not running with a good form. I can maintain my good form running for 2 hours or so, but then my legs start getting tired and I have to use these different muscles. That means rolling my stride, extending it, rolling my feet from heel to toe. No, it's not recommended, I know that, but at least it allows me to use different muscles when I get tired. And if there is no flexibility, all that becomes really hard, right? Instead, if you run with this shoe with your forefoot, or even if you have an impact and then move forward, this shoe will work very well. The weight of this shoe is 229 grams, size 11, again, no insoles. What else about the shoe? Well, obviously on the downhill, this shoe really delivers, right? You can see it from the cushioning on the heel that is really great. The sole of the shoe is really also very well made. You can see that they save a lot of weight by not putting the armat material in some points. And I've ran actually in this shoe around 350 miles. And as you can see, they're still very well maintained, contrary to the Clifton's and to other shoes from Hoka. This yellow material here is really holding up really well. So I'd be really undecided which shoe to run the Boston Marathon with between these two. But luckily, I have another option that I consider, which is this. It's the Nike Zoom Elite 9. I tried this shoe after going through some forums and seeing what other shoes are best for marathons. Obviously, you know, the shoe that is best for a marathon is, it all depends on you. But after running 300 miles on the Claytons, I felt like I could splurge on another new pair of shoes. And by the way, these are the cheapest by far than the other two shoes that I'm evaluating. I ran with them, and this is a clip about my experience. These shoes feel really nice. This Nike Zoom. I had another pair of shoes, or Nike shoes, that I used for races. My first pair of shoes I used in a marathon. The Nike Flyknit Racer. Definitely not enough cushioning, but hey, I got to the end. I was really happy. Okay, it's time to pick up the pace. Like this. So let me tell you something about the shoes. I really like them. They're light. They're not super light like, for example, the Flyknit Racer, but on the other hand, they offer a lot of protection. So the good thing is that they really, if you can see, they're like a glove on my foot. So they really hug my foot very well. My foot doesn't crash on the bottom. And so that's great because I don't waste energy and I don't get any blisters on the bottom of my feet. I like the impact with the ground. They bounce off the ground. They don't waste too much energy, but on the other hand, they protect me. So I really like them. This sole, it's big enough to give me some protection from the ground. By the way, I'm also measuring the impact of the shoes with this device, the RunScribe. That's measuring the impact. What else about this shoe? The sole. The sole is not Continental, it's not branded, but it's an excellent sole. As you can see here, there are these pentagons that will offer me a lot of traction. And as you can see here, they also started doing something smart like Hoka is doing, which is to remove some of the foam that you don't need when you run. Durability, I can't judge how durable these shoes are because I just ran 50 miles in them and I want to save them for my Boston Marathon. However, I can tell you that looking at this black harder foam, I would expect that this lasts a little bit and so we'll see. It probably what will happen is that some of these pentagons will be flat maybe in 100 miles in And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's look if the data that I recorded using RunScribe actually supports my impressions on these three shoes. And here it is, the three shoes compared. Over a run which is around 7 miles, run pretty much at the same speed as you can see there. So we have efficiency matrix, shock matrix, and motion matrix. Efficiency matrix show how I tend to run with those shoes. As you can see with the Zoom Elite 9 and with the Adios 3, I tend to have a higher frequency in terms of step rate and a shorter contact time and a higher flight ratio. Is that good or bad? I think it's actually good to have a higher step rate. The contact time for the Hoka Clayton is higher, And to me that means that with that cushioning, with less steps, I tend to waste more energy. However, to really see how I waste energy, we have to look into the shock matrix. And there is a shock overall score, which is very comparable between the Adios 3 and the Clayton. However, the Nike Zoom Elite 9 are definitely better. And then there is impact Gs and braking Gs. What is G? G is the acceleration, the change in acceleration upon impact. Therefore, this is more of a horizontal component, while the braking G is more of the vertical component. The Hoka and the Adidas are very, very similar in terms of impact Gs and braking Gs. However, if you look at the braking Gs at the Zoom Elite 9, they are better, they're lower, therefore there is less waste of energy. Therefore, my conclusion is definitely I go for the way that I run with the Nike Zoom Elite 9. Thanks for listening, hope this was useful, and wish me luck in Boston. See you later, guys.